about the importance of checklists and the role of checklists in your job?
So here for Pirelli's, my whole job is on a checklist. Everything from turning on the lights to finishing up with sweeping the floors and taking out the trash. It's all done by a checklist. It's very easy to see what you've done and what you haven't done whenever you mark something off with a check, so I absolutely love it. So the importance of rotation of the inventory is pretty much one of the most important things we have that I deal with. If you don't rotate the inventory, it will go bad. Obviously, whenever there's no product there, it's pretty easy. You don't have to rotate anything, but a majority of the time, you will have product left over, and you will need to rotate the old to the front and the new to the back.
When you're prepping, are you prepping for the needs of the day that you're prepping, or are you actually prepping for like maybe even tomorrow?
Usually I prep for extended days, normally 1 to 2 days, maybe 3, just depending on how busy or how slow it has been. Usually we'll prep for more than just a day.
How important is safety for prep?
So me being the lead prep here, I use a knife quite a bit. You can cut yourself with a knife. They do hurt. It's never fun. So my testament to all the new hires that we bring in is, hey, it's not a race. Show them how to properly hold a knife, how to properly use a knife. I don't want you to be as fast. We just need to get it done and get out of here. Also, I will take care of you cut yourself. No big deal.
My name's Aaron Wilson, and I'm a red hat artisan pizza chef at Pirelli's.
Awesome. When did you start working for Pirelli's?
Shoot, about it was like 4.5 years now. So I was here for the grand opening. 1 month prior to that, I trained at Parkland. Feels like it's been 6 months, not 4.5 years, you know? Yeah. You cannot do this job alone. You need your team with you. And like no job is above or beneath you. We all do the same stuff. Sometimes we gotta wash dishes. Sometimes we gotta stay on our station the whole day because it's just so busy. And we all just help each other. We all know what needs to be done, and we all accomplish it together. We got like 8 locations, but it still feels like a small business because it's a family-owned business, and the owners know my name. Like they know who I am, and they give me help if I need it. And it's just a good family business. You feel part of the family, like hands down. You know they care about you here.
My name is Autumn Nesabu. I am an operations manager for Pirelli's. I started in 2012. So yeah, I also do all of the purchasing for our beverage program, so all of our beer, wine, and liquor purchases. Awesome. So one thing that I have learned over the years is that you can teach someone skills. But so I'm looking for someone who's excited, who wants to work, who has good energy, who is really ready to show up and put their best foot forward, and has a lot of heart, is trying. You don't always hit it out of the park on the first shot, but someone who is eager to learn and sticks with it. Someone who's ready to make a commitment, to maybe it's just for a short term, maybe it's a summer, but they're ready to show up every day and work hard, and really be a value add to the team.
I'm Clayton Kruger. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications at Pirelli's Pizza. I started with the company in 1997 as a dishwasher, worked my way up through the different positions in the kitchen, and ultimately went off to college to pursue an education in business, and was fortunate to find my way back to the company when we were in a really strong growth phase. Helped the company open several locations, and am continuing to do that today. When I started my career at Pirelli's as a dishwasher, as a 16-year-old kid, not really knowing what I was going to be getting myself into, ultimately I began to make lifelong friends and to learn skills that could transfer to really any industry. I always wanted to be in the hospitality industry, and I think the reason why is because it's really the business of people. It's the people business, and for me, that's a passion. Just communicating with, interacting with, growing with And doing life with people is really something that I'm passionate about. And you will not find another industry where that is as prevalent as the hospitality industry. And I found a good home here at Forelli's to pursue that.
My name is Mike Rutledge. I am the Director of Kitchen Systems for Forelli's Pizza. I started working for Forelli's in 1997 as a dishwasher at our original location in Lacey, Washington. Going lean, or taking a hard look at our process. I think, lean comes from a manufacturing term of cars. For us, it's more process. And what tools can we still learn about how to make our teams more efficient? And so what we took a hard look at was, what process do we have for everything that we do? Is there any waste in that? An example would be, if I'm making a pepperoni pizza and I have to take 3 steps to grab pepperoni and come back, I need the pepperoni right here. Those 3 steps that was wasted transportation and time. And so when you apply those principles to everything that you do, it's like, what could make this as easy as possible so we can get consistency and efficiency? And then you look for bottlenecks. We see it a lot in like our server stations. We'll have 12 people all coming to one place at one time, and it's like, okay, how do we improve this process by looking at each step along the way so that we give every member of our team the greatest chance for success? And for our heart of the team, that means that it can be very busy, and it's like a plane in flight. It's super smooth. For our servers and our support staff on the floor, it means they can take 2 or 3 more tables and make extra gratuities because their efficiency was so high, because we have our aces in their places. And that's not just people, that's the way we stage product and in the way that we teach and coach people how to do the process of whatever they are doing.
The most rewarding part of my job by far is the people that I get to work with every day, and just watching growth. We have several general managers now that I remember when they were dishwashers, when they were serving, hosting, bar leads, kitchen leads, same thing, that at this point, we've been working together for years, and I've watched them grow personally, professionally. I've watched them grow families. It is really awesome to get to watch people that are now taking care of their own kids, bringing their own kids into Forelli's. We have, some parents that their kids also work with us. So it's just really rewarding to see that Forelli's is a place that it's a career. You can stay here, provide for your family, and you can stay forever. It's really awesome. So.
When you talk about a process for like a pizza, the goal is we're gonna make this pizza the exact same every time that we make it. We're gonna weigh cheese, we're gonna count pepperonis, we're gonna bake it for 6 minutes, and the guest is gonna get that same pizza regardless if I make it or if anyone else in the kitchen makes it. So that's one thing, is consistency and speed. We want our guests to get it quick. And then from what it looks like from the service point of view, is you get a guided dining experience. It's not just, what can I get for you? It's, we want to take you on a culinary tour of what we do. We're not going to try to cram anything on you. What are you in here for today? Are we celebrating something? Oh, what do I like? Let me tell you, I love our meatballs and our fire sticks, and really help them enjoy the meal that they wanted to come, and not just, be kind of generic and, oh, why don't you try this and that? It's really about a guided dining experience here.
Well, let's talk about how we all got started in the industry. Josh.
I got started in 2007 as a dishwasher in Sumner. Made my way up through the kitchen, moved to the bar, and then became a manager.
Awesome.
Here I am.
Awesome. All right. Jackie?
I got started as John would say, on a milk crate, washing dishes at about 8 years old, 7 years old, and fell in love with the industry. and have done pretty much every position within a restaurant and am still not bored. The best thing about restaurant business is it's never the same day twice. Keeps you engaged and interested, and I think washing dishes is where it all starts. Understanding that you can't do anything else in a building without a clean plate. Without that, there's nothing you can get done.
Well said. John, how'd you get started?
I got started at St. Martin's College. I got a traffic ticket. I was a senior, had to go to work for the food service, started washing dishes, and I found a business that I absolutely love. Before long, I was making mashed potatoes, I was cooking on the grill, I was doing the student schedules, and ended up having a great career. I love this business.
Awesome. How did Autumn get involved?
I had just graduated from college and just had some extra time in my schedule, and I thought it would be so fun to learn how to bartend. And so was recruited to a Forelli's location where they put me on the crash course fast track of learning, started hosting, serving, cocktailing, and finally landed behind the bar and just fell in love with the industry and working, with in a fast pace with fun teams and connecting with guests every day just felt right.
Awesome.
Here I am.
Awesome. What about you, Rob?
I actually started out in the brewing industry and then ended up kind of moving into our brew pub and doing some marketing for our brew pub, and spent an unceremonious, 8 to 12 seconds trying to help out on the floor, immediately breaking dishes, taking them out of the window, and decided that the inside of the four walls was not for me. But I did really like the industry, and I liked helping out in marketing and creating a space for letting people know what they were missing out on and to come into the restaurant. So that's kind of the angle that I liked, and then had an opportunity to come to Forelli's, and immediately was welcomed by the family and the crew, and really liked the culture that's been built here. And I immediately felt like I was part of the team wholeheartedly, and it's just kind of grown from there. And I had the opportunity to kind of carve out my own role with the company and kind of add to the things that I already brought to the table and learn as I went, and kind of turn it into a career. So it's been a really awesome opportunity to just, I feel like I'm still continuing to grow my role. So it's been great.
Awesome. Mike, we heard from you earlier about how you got into the industry. What are some of the different roles that you played in your career?
I think the most important one was the DMOS that I started as. And when I started when I was 15 and I was washing dishes in the back, my friends at school would ask, "What do you do at Forelli's?" And I said, "Well, I'm the DMOS." And they're like, "Wow, like as your first job?" I said, "Yeah." And so later on, people were like, "What does that even mean?" I said, "It's the dish machine operating supervisor." And they said, what are you in charge of? I said, the plates and the music. So I think with that, knowing the power of being a leader in the department of one, it challenged me to grow, and so I was able to, I don't remember what the original question was, but I really wanted to tell this story. I went on to be a manager in our kitchen and a general manager, and now I have a spot on our leadership team and I have privilege to work with all of the stores and all of the teams, and still am one of the ones in charge of the music. So it's important, ties it all back together.
I think one of the things that I want you all to learn is these guys all started, every one of them, as dishwashers in the kitchen when they were young. Mike is director of kitchens. He's one of our operation managers, manages 3 of the stores. Rob is our marketing guy that does all of our creative work, all of our menuing, all of our artwork, and does a fantastic job. This young lady who started out as the cocktailer is now again an operations manager responsible for 3 stores. She does all the buying for the beer, the liquor, the wine, all the promotions. This young man hasn't told his story yet, but he started when he was about 15, driving his BMW 90 miles an hour to work every day. He's our director of marketing. He started it at 15 years old, put himself through college, worked in our industry, and has given many workshops down at the pizza show in Las Vegas. My daughter there, Jackie, runs the company. She's our CEO. She indeed did start out on a milk carton at 8 years old. This young man down here, Josh, I believe also, as he told you, started as a dishwasher. He's now running a $3 million, $4 million a year operation here at Point Ruston. So the lesson here, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen, is how far you can get ahead in this industry.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. Yeah.
Nice job, kids.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
One thing, Josh is also in charge of male grooming here at Forelli's, and just really setting the industry standard for what that should look like. And I'm thankful.
Consulted him before I kept my
You should have. Yeah, you should have consulted Josh. Always consult Josh.
I love that we had to separate the three of you guys.
We did. That was strategic. That was strategic.
I haven't introduced myself either. I'm John Farrell. I'm one of the founders of Forelli with my daughter Jackie and my wife Margaret.
That's right. How did the Forelli's concept come to be?
Well, I had been in the restaurant business for about 15 years and I was almost broke and decided that I needed to come up with a new concept. And at that time, wood-fired pizza was just starting to become a thing. I knew we needed to distinguish ourselves. And I wanted to keep the bar fairly simple. I wanted to have a fun sports bar and a fun family side. So we don't call it the restaurant and the bar, we call it the family side and the adult side. And I just, after 15 years of not quite figuring it out, I knew I had to do one more, give it a try, throw the dice, and it was successful. We knew within about 3 months that we had a concept that was really fun and that we could grow with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you've owned so some of those other restaurants that you had in your past?
Yeah, the Hobnob on 6th Avenue, John's Restaurant, Lakewood, Gig Harbor, the Huckleberry Inn out in Key Center, Engine House number 9 on 6th Avenue. Yeah, so it's been a long and storied career.
Prolific.
Yeah.
Prolific
Fun,
career.
all of it, most of it fun.
Because how much did the fun cost you?
Yeah, a lot.
A lifetime full of good memories. So Autumn, what is the skill that you've learned in this industry that has served you well?
I would say just the importance of connecting with people, whether it's your employees or your guests. It's really something that I personally feed off of. It makes my day better. And, being able to just, you never know what's going on in someone's life that day. Maybe great, maybe someone's coming in to share something amazing with you. Maybe they had a tough day, maybe it was a hard day at school, hard day at home. But we really try to provide a safe place at Forelli's, and when you walk through the door, no matter what, consistently you're going to know that we're here to hear what you have to say, to make you feel welcomed, and to just make your day better. So it's probably been my favorite part. I've felt that many times. It's my safe place to come to too, and so.
Absolutely.
Great
I think that was really well said, because I realized when I left the restaurants that I had been a part of growing up and I went off to college, I missed my family. I didn't have any family around. And I joined a restaurant company in Pullman, Washington, and that became my family for the next 4 years. And that restaurant company taught me that all of these entities, all of these restaurants, all of the hotels, the hospitality industry, they are families within a business, and it's needed. And I'm really blessed and lucky. I've got a close mom and dad that helped me and mentored me. But there's so many folks out there where you might feel lost or alone, and like you don't have that family structure around you. And when you become a part of a restaurant, you can become a part of the family. And you know, if you're in high school right now and you're thinking about the hospitality industry, I mean, give it some real thought, because this is a place that will open up their arms and welcome you in. And it's just a true opportunity and a privilege to get the chance to lead people throughout their lifetime of, you know, all different ages. It's a real blessing to be able to be a part of this business.
Yeah, we've seen people, we've lost some people,
Yeah.
we've gained a lot of people too, but we've celebrated together and mourned together. I think we've all kind of experienced that, and it's nice to have that family to lean on during those times. So
Right.
that's great.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, yeah. I think for me, the thing that I learned from this industry, the skill that I learned, is that we owe those you work with the best you have to give. And I was actually, I remember you telling me that back when I was 16 years old.
And you told me that back when I was 23 years old.
And that's just a life skill, you know, that we spend so much time at work, and these people that you go to work with deserve the best that you have to give. They deserve you coming to the table. And, you know, that's true in team sports, but the restaurant industry really is a team sport. And so coming with your A game and knowing that your team can rely on you to do your part, I think that's, for me, that's been the number one skill that I've really took to heart. So.
What kind of life or core skills can somebody get as a young person by working in a restaurant that they're not going to get anywhere else?
Well, you know, I think the really cool thing is, you know, we can hire a 15-year-old kid and put him in the dish room, teach him how to do a job. But what that 15-year-old who becomes a 16, 17, 18, they're growing up at work. They're learning, what would I call, values. They're learning teamwork. They know that there's people there that care about them. They're part of a family. Boy, and I think there are so many leaders, even in the country, who will tell you that their first job was in a restaurant. If you can spend 2 or 3 years in a restaurant, you're more likely to succeed in any other business that you go into. There's so many things involved in it. There's food, there's purchasing, there's marketing, there's personnel, there's scheduling, there's training, bartending, serving, busing. There are so many different avenues that you can take from our business. And just learning how to talk to customers. I think it's one of the best experiences you can have as a young person, being part of a restaurant family.
I think it can also teach you consequences and discipline, and it can help with clarity. I think that a lot of times, as a young person, you might not understand the importance of being on time, and the letdown of your team when you don't show up when they need you the most is a natural consequence. And then you also have consequence of maybe you will be taken off the schedule, or maybe you'll get a shift that you might not love to have worked. But I think consequences are also a really important lesson that you can learn in a safe place.
One of the things we struggled with early on was, okay, we're a family. How do you fire a family member? So we kind of adopted the thing that we're a working family. And in order to belong to the working family, you have to adhere to the working family's values and understand the mission statement. Our mission statement is to use our business system to create a vibrant working family who nourishes the neighborhood. And if you don't get that after a time, you just won't work out at Forelli's. And it's almost like a self-correcting thing. We very seldom have to fire anybody. They just realize that it's not for them because they can't make that commitment. They can't rise to that level.
I think one of the important things that it teaches you too, just like the restaurant industry in general, but as it like pertains to life, is that like there's order and chaos. Like a lot of people have a lot of expectations about how life's going to go or how things are going to go on a day-to-day basis and have these expectations lined up, and then this one thing comes in and crashes it, and then everything is, the world is over because my expectations have been shattered. But like, you get your expectations shattered on a daily basis with something that you didn't know was going to happen. You're understaffed, you got tipped over, you got to rally around and make it happen. And that happens all the time. And then you just kind of start to get used to it. And honestly, you start to translate that outside of work, and you kind of tailor your expectations to not have expectations and be able to roll with the punches more. Like, I feel like that has been one of the things that has permeated my life from working, in the hospitality industry. So
resilience.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the storm is the norm.
The storm is the norm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
I was going to say social skills. It is crazy how many new employees come to us that are, maybe quiet or shy or have never worked with the public. And one of the ways that we explain it is that this is a role, so you can come here. Your role today is as a host, or your role today is as a server. And it's almost like you're in a TV show. You're putting on this armor, and you can go out and you can really let your personality come out. It's really a safe, fun thing and we watch young people, old people, like, just develop, come out of their shells, and really get comfortable interacting with complete strangers, and then those strangers, you connect with them and they become your regulars, and they're not strangers anymore. And it's just really a cool thing, watching everyone kind of grow into their own skin and just be comfortable.
Yeah.
I think the other cool thing about our industry, I've always looked at it as there's kind of like 3 different ways you can look at working in a restaurant. So many of our servers, for example, work 25, 30 hours a week. They're well tipped, they make good money, and they're in college, and they become nurses. They become, a lot of servers become nurses, for example. So they use being in a restaurant working as a way to pay for taking care of themselves and getting through college. And then we have a great number of employees who are servers, cooks, bartenders, cocktailers, who this is what they do for a living, and they make decent money at it. They enjoy their work. And then we have the third kind of employee who's looking for a career. And as you can see around this table, there are plenty of careers in the restaurant industry. And if you're one of those people who's looking for this, Forelli's needs you.
Ding, 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 ding.
I was going to say, I think what I've learned the most from this industry is the ability to receive, but then eventually also give feedback. And there's all kinds of feedback. Some is all right, and some isn't great, But at the core of it, there's always something, and it's what we can take from it and then kind of use, and just be better at next time. And the ability to reset every day, like you were saying, gives you a real quick turnaround to use that.
Yeah.
Jackie, where are we headed as an organization?
We are headed where our people allow us to go. We're headed into an area of growth and opportunity. We're opening 2 new stores this year, and we're opening the 2 stores because we have leadership and people who want to grow with our company. And so we will continue to grow as neighborhoods and as men and women choose to invest their time with us. I think that's where we're going. And hopefully we're going down a pretty fun road. I mean, I want to have some fun while we're going down this road, and I want to have experiences, and I want to watch every single person at this table develop, and I want to watch all of our crew members develop, and I'm excited to think about who I'm going to meet in the future.
Yeah.
Where do you think we're going?
I think we're going there, and I also think we're going to a place where we're known as the best in our industry at developing disciplined and caring hospitality professionals. And that's an exciting place for me to go. That's an exciting place, I think, for all of us to go. And to be the best at something, and especially at developing people into great people. That's exciting. That's what I'm here for.
Can I go back a question?
Yeah.
Because I believe the question was, what does someone gain? What value do we add for someone starting with the Fraley's company or in food service or hospitality at an early age? And everyone's thoughts were awesome, but one of the big ones we forgot is pizza and spinning pizza dough is like the rock star culinary art.
That's right.
Nothing cooler than getting up there and spinning dough in front of a dining room and having everyone ooh and ah. And pizza's just so great. Everyone loves it. Every nation in the world loves it. And it's really fun that we can, that we can teach people this skill that they can use throughout their whole life. And they get to enjoy gourmet, award-winning pizza every shift that they work.
Yeah, that's spot
Well,
on.
our employees eat well.
That's
let me tell
spot
you.
Pirelli's 15.
Don't scare them away now.
You can't really go to a house party and be like, hey, do you want to see me put some microgreens on this tilapia? Like, nobody cares. But if you're like, hey, you guys want to see me
look
throw
over
pizza
here.
dough? Dude, you're a rock star. You're right.
People still get surprised when I tell them I can throw dough because they just think I do marketing. But it's like, no, my roots are in the kitchen.
Yeah, you're a black hat, man.
I'm a
I like to say, Brittany says, I'm a pink hat. It's somewhere above a red but below a white.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, not sure where it lands.
Yeah.
To explain that, we have a hat system for our cooks. When you start, you're a white hat. Or when you learn and you're kind of a journeyman, you're a black hat. But when you get really good and you can order and schedule and do everything in the kitchen, you become a red hat. So Clayton here is still mad that Mike won't award him the red hat because he just hasn't quite got there yet. But Clayton's only, 23 years in?
I'm still working, still trying. The standards are high. The standards are high. We have high standards. John, where do you think this industry is going, and do you think why should young people be excited about coming in?
I love this question because I think one of the best things that's happened to our industry is the increases in minimum wage. I think traditionally, too many people have thought of a restaurant job as sort of a gig, something that you can do, and not many people understand that it's actually a career path. Our minimum wage is $13.65 something now. The courts now allow us to share server tips with back of the house, which has made a huge difference, anywhere from $4 to $7 an hour in tip share for our kitchen. So you're getting close to that $20 an hour mark, which you can actually rent an apartment or buy a car or live the American life. So I'm just real excited about the changes in our industry and minimum wage and tip share. It's just an exciting industry. And you know what? As these millennials, and I don't know what you call the new batch, but they ain't cooking at home. They don't want to do the dishes. They don't want to shop. I think the restaurant industry is in for some very, very good years and a real bright future.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, the sun is shining on us.
It's warm.
All right.
All right.
What else you got on there?
Anything else?
I think that was good.
Yeah, you want to lob any at the team?
They'll be able to salvage 40 seconds out of that.
Yeah,
40 seconds.
there's 40 seconds in there.
Whoever wants to answer this, what's the best piece of advice you can give to somebody entering the workforce? How do you set yourself up to succeed and thrive?
Listen. Yeah, I think that listening will serve you well in any job that you enter. Anytime you're entering into a new role or a new position, you need to listen.
Yeah, I think one of the ones that I always try to follow is the connect first, content second. Is just so it's when someone comes in and you greet someone that you're working with like you would greet a guest that you care about, and you say, hey, Josh, how are you? I haven't seen you. How was your weekend? Did you go camping with the family? Oh, that's great. we got a 50 top walking in 15 minutes. You ready to go? Let's get washed up. But you know, it's just that thing that we are real people and we care about each other at work and outside of work. So we want to connect first with people, whether it's a guest or someone you're working with, and then the content will follow shortly after.
Yeah, I think too, it's about, you know, a lot of people that enter an industry come in thinking, well, what's in it for me? What's in it for me at this job? You know, how much am I getting paid and all this? And those things are important. You want to know what's the return for your time. But also, you really have to ask yourself, how can I improve? Through growing myself, how can I improve the company? You know, if this company is to grow, what do I need to do to help get us there?
That's what you say to a dishwasher?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say come into it with the mindset that I have an opportunity here to help grow this company.
Yeah.
And as a result, I know that I need to grow myself. So come into it with a growth mindset. As John Farrell always says, if it's to be, it's up to thee. So that means it's up to you.
Just to kind of expand on that, maybe tweak it just a little bit. I would say just having a mindset of ownership for whatever role you're in. I feel like where a lot of people go wrong is, or at least to not make it a career, or you know, and it's fine, I guess, if that's all you want is like John says, a gig or whatever, and all you care about is, hey, once I'm gonna punch in, and then I'm gonna do whatever, you know, my basic things are, and then I'm gonna punch out. I'm gonna get out of here and get my paycheck at the end of the month. But I feel like if you really want to make a difference, you know, if you're a dishwasher, act like, hey, this is my house, and like these are my dishes. Would I put, you know, some spotty dishes out for guests at my house? Probably not. So if you treat everything with a little bit of ownership, and look at the bigger picture rather than just a punch in, punch out mentality, it's going to serve you well as far as, you know, making a career out of it, learning the things that you might pass over if you're just kind of going through the motions, and people notice, and you'll have more opportunities if you just, you know, if you have that ownership mindset.
I would say have fun.
Yes, thank you.
It is
Absolutely.
It's just pizza, you know, and
Not life and death.
no, and we always have opportunities to make things right. I would say we hire based off of, you know, we can teach skills. We hire people that we think we want to hang out with all day, people that our employees, our fellow employees and teams will appreciate and enjoy. And I would say that good decisions start the night before. So, you know, get some rest, make sure that you're nourished so that when you show up next morning, you have the best to give to the team around you.
I love that. I love that.
I'd also remind folks that everybody starts somewhere. You gotta start somewhere, so take that first step.
Here, here.
You're here.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.